gotta have the demos so I can go back to him.
You got me
know?
the killer vid. You see that? He labeled it. See what he's doing, everybody? He's putting salt on the ice. You know what that does?
Include the first thing is that you also will not sing, you prevent the ice to melt too quick. That's pay attention. No.
We're talking about East Coast, West Coast.
Yeah.
East Coast oysters are defined by taste of more salty, briny. Around here, one of the most common ones are blue points. You see them, they come from New York. Very good. Colder water is better, so summer they're not going to be as briny. They're going to be less flavorful. So for a rule of thumb, I would recommend if you're going to eat oysters in the summer, go eat them from around here, from somewhere more north, like Canada. The water is colder, right? I'm not sure. I think these are from Canada. He didn't really specify, but they look like PEI type mussels. As you can see when you hold them straight, that the cup is underneath. This is where all the juice is. If the oyster is open, it's a good idea to get rid of it right away because of not just that it might be bad, but it's not going to have any liquid in it. And that's what oyster eating is all about, is the liquid and the oyster. Eat it together. Perfect harmony. Like I said, briny, salty, East Coast. West Coast are defined more as creamy, less briny. I've never actually, I was saying just before, never had an oyster on the West Coast, so I'm not sure exactly how good it can be, but I prefer these because I like saltier things. So the first thing you want to do is make sure you have the right knife, as we said before. These look similar, but if you turn them sideways, the clam knife is straight, and it has what should be sharp here, so you can push through the clamshell. This oyster knife, sometimes they're straight, but they don't have sharp sides, so you can put your finger on here and not get cut. But they have a little tip like this. It's all about leverage when you open them. It's not about cramming your knife in there trying to open it. If you do that, you can stab the oyster and damage it, and more of the juice comes out and it ruins the texture. Alright. So I always want to have a wet towel, because even though I cleaned this and I washed it, and usually, rule of thumb, most places you brush them to get the dirt. Sometimes there's dirt that gets lodged inside this little area right here, and when you open it, it goes inside the oyster. So you want to try to clean them as much as possible, but also you don't want to push dirt into it. So I get a towel, I fold it a couple of ways so it's thick. This way, if it comes off, I have some protection. You see sometimes people wear these gloves. I don't wear the gloves, but they do make gloves that are impenetrable from a knife. So what do? You put the oyster here, and like I said, it's all about leverage. So what you want to do is put your towel over so you're not, so you have protection from the knife in case it slips. So you have this little opening right here. You can see it in the back, this little hinge. It actually is visible if you see, right? You want to get the tip of your knife in the little hinge, and I kind of just jingle it in like that. It should stay once you get it in there if you do it right, so you don't even have to worry about that. Now, I barely put any pressure in here. You don't have to really push. It's all about, like I said, all about leverage. So once you get it in, holding down, I'm just going to come down and simply just pop it open, and you'll feel it. You'll feel the oyster pop open like that. As you can see, I have a little bit of shell on my knife, so that's why I always keep this here in case there's something on the knife. I could wipe it out. Then once I get it open, I can slide my knife in sideways like this, and then it just pops open. All right, this is good. I showed you sometimes that the top part can stick to that. So all you have to do if this happens is just pull it off like that. Right? I'm going to do another one, and then you have the oyster open like that. Now there's also a connector on the bottom. As you said, this is a bivalve, so it's connected at both sides. So you have to clean the bottom. So what I do with my wet towel is clean it, because I don't want to put a dirty knife in the oyster, and then you just come underneath and dislodge it from both sides, and sometimes, if you want, you can flip it over for a presentation like that. And then we put it right on the ice. Anytime you're shucking oysters for an oyster bar, you have your ice ready. You don't want to put it somewhere else where it leans over and maybe some of the juice can come out. Right on the ice. So we'll do one more. As you can see, the hinge is pretty exposed. Put your knife in there, pretty easy. Pop it up, clean. See all that shell that comes out? And then I want to get it in there again. These are all cracking. It's interesting. Usually don't do that. And then just scrape down like that. And there you have a nice shucked oyster, right? And if you want to eat one, smell it first. It should smell basically like nothing, to be honest with you. A slight smell of the sea. It shouldn't be too strong. Like Chef said, if you smell something off, it's usually that there's something off, right? You want to try one for the first time and you're a little scared, put a lot of lemon on it. That'll give it a... And it should move. You see all the juice like that? So you can just... That's good. Especially at this time in the morning. That's basically it. All right? Any questions?
No, Chef.
All right.